Hey, I don't agree with that. The chat GPT? Maybe. It's a big deal. Yes, artificial intelligence. But is the art official? Is it intelligent? Go back. Intelligent, it is official art. Not there. Go back to the very beginning. I don't agree with that, but you agree. It's a big deal. Maybe. I guess we'll see. If you have been around for the past 4 weeks or so, or the past couple of months, then you've definitely been on social media and seen a lot of people sharing these artistic portraits of themselves that they some people paid for, and some people just went on a AI art generator. And I'm not going to knock them, but what is AI art generators? Essentially, the two that I'm really familiar with is Lenza, which is the one that's been spitting out all the portraits of everyone, and also Midjourney, which is on the film and cinema side of things. Essentially, an AI art generator is a program that you prompt, and then after you prompt this generator, it goes and it scours the internet, its database, it collects a bunch of data, and then it converts it into an image and give that image to you. This is, of course, working with algorithm and databases and everything on the internet. So what could possibly go wrong? Now, before I even dive into pros, cons, and concerns, I would like to say that if you are not aware, AI and AI art generators and AI technology is already incorporated in most of what we use on a day-to-day basis. I know me as a creative, I use Adobe Premiere, I use DaVinci Resolve, and AI is within those programs from voice isolation to color editing tools. It's already there. If you use Photoshop, if you use retouching technology, it's already there. So, what is the solution? What is the common ground that we could come to when it comes to AI, creativity, art, in the art world? The first concern or the first negative that a lot of people have is the fact that it lacks originality. I mean, essentially, whatever prompt you give that machine, that's what it's working with. So AI art isn't original. And I mean, there's people that debate whether or not it's original, but it's essentially not original. It's a combination of a bunch of different data and bunch of different works from other people, and then that is spit out to you and you could post it. The next part of that is it just mimics human behavior and what human beings would do. It's basically creating something that it thinks or that it puts together that a human being would create. And so that's what you end up getting as your final image. The next concern is its limited scope. Basically, you can use this to create art or create anything you want for the most part. But in terms of its limitation, AI art cannot, at least as of now, it cannot create in every medium and in every style that you could think of. However, it's definitely, to me, almost like a medium of its own. So if you're into that, then sure, go for it. The next concern that most people have is its difficulty to judge it, because when a human being creates an original piece, I mean, even though art is subjective, you can still judge it. But how do you judge a machine that creates bad or good art? Is it even still bad or good art? Would you even consider? Some people don't even consider it art, but for me, I'm gonna call it what it is. It is art, but it is sourced from multiple different data and databases. So I mean, how do you judge it? Do you give it the same value as a human creative art piece, you know? Is it good or bad art? We don't know. And that's kind of what we'll have to wait and see. How does this all, turn out? Another small concern is its dependency on technology. I mean, essentially, if the technology fails, then the system, if the technology fails, then there's no way of really creating the art. So if that's what you're solely dependent on, then make sure that the tech is always working, and then you could generate what kind of art you want to create. Its dependency on technology is pretty critical, but I don't see the tech really failing so far, or the tech really failing in that sense. So hey, enjoy it. And the last negative per se, or last big concern, is the ethical concerns, right? Misinformation. You can, in fact, use this for misinformation. You can, in fact, use it to create offensive or terrible art, per se. And that is obviously a concern that everyone should have, because then, if art is so accessible to the point where anyone could go and use it, of course, there is going to come a time where people use it almost as a weapon, or weaponize the ability of AI and AI technology. And of course, that's a bigger conversation for way more things. But this is where we're at right now. We just focusing on the art. Now, let's move to the positive side of things. Now, for the first positive, scope. So this might almost seem contradictory to my earlier comment, but essentially, you can in fact use AI art generator to widen or broaden the scope of how you create and what you create. So I think, for the most part, that's a very good positive. A next positive is AI art could help to give people who are less artistic or less creative access to creating more, or creating stuff and gain access to the art world. And I don't think that's such a bad thing. I mean, I'm all for originality and creativity and all of that. But if you always wanted to get into art, or, always wanted to create, but you don't really know, but you have the words, then you might be able to use your words and just prompt these programs, and you might be able to get what you want, or get what you're looking for, or get what you're trying to create. So I don't see it as such a terrible thing. The only thing is, I personally wouldn't give you that much credit as an artist, but at the end of the day, does it really matter? Art is subjective, right? An extension to my last point is the potential for art generator to create a very unique piece of work. I mean, essentially, it opens up, the scope of things. You could create stuff that is very much never created before. And so, that could be interesting to see where that goes. And my last and probably biggest point is efficiency, consistency, and repeatability. I mean, AI art generators, they could process things faster than human beings. They probably could create one thing more consistently than human beings. And they probably could repeat this process over and over. If you, as an artist, wants to create something repeatedly or more consistently, or just at a faster pace, then you're able to prompt a AI art generator to do that for you. Also, too, you could just use it to get rid of the tedious parts of creating. I'm sure everybody that is a creator and an artist have parts of their work, or parts of the process of their work, that they're not so fond of and might just think is tedious. So, you could possibly use the AI art generator to do that part of the work. So, what does this mean for artists? One, we should collaborate. Using these programs to assist in parts of our process, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're not fully getting your idea from an AI. Two, you could use it to widen your scope. As an artist, as a creator, most of the times we're limited to the material, or the stuff that we have in terms of medium. And so AI art actually opens up a whole new avenue for us to create different types of work, and also just create very unique types of work. Will I ever consider AI assisted work fully original? I mean, it would be a stretch to say it's not, but at the same time, if you're using AI art generators to create your whole image and the whole work from start to end, then is it truly original? I mean, that's a question that is leave up to the artist themselves or the people that judge artists or critics themselves. Will it extinct creative human beings? I don't think so. I don't think we're going anywhere soon. And continue to create from your life stories, create from your experiences, create from your belief system, from everything. If you could create from any one of those sources, whether it be your life, your belief, your experiences, then I don't think any AI art will be able to create a better piece of work than you could using those ideas. Now, most of the information I had and I organized it, I put it together, but I wanted ChatGPT, another AI, to answer the concerns that I had about AI. And so what you're seeing on the screen is ChatGPT generating answers for the concerns that I have. So basically, AI answers questions about AI. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.